Welcome to your stretch class for this month. Roll out your mat. You may want a little block with you or a hardback book today. But when you're ready, just come and join me in a seated position. And if it feels more comfortable to you, raise your hips up on a cushion or a low block, just to give yourself a little bit more height in those hips. When you are ready, close down the eyes and we will start with just a couple of focused breaths. So just noticing the breath as it comes into the body. It fills the lungs, it fills the chest. And then notice as you exhale out, maybe making that exhale just nice and smooth. Take another breath like that where we're inhaling in, really filling the lungs with air, and exhale out. Take one more like that, inhaling in and exhaling. And then blinking open those eyes. Let's inhale those hands up towards the sky. Really reach up tall, reach up high. Cross at the wrists and allow your hands to come down and find your opposite knee. So I'm going to bring my chin towards my chest and really round out through my spine, taking a stretch through the back of the shoulders. Inhale those hands up towards the sky. Cross at the wrists the other way and bring them down towards the opposite knee. Chin comes into chest and you round out through the spine. Inhale those hands up towards the sky. Let's take them over to the left side. So just reaching out through the left side of the body. Perhaps that top hand wants to come behind the head and you open up towards the ceiling. And then reach both arms up towards the sky. Take them over to the right. You can stay right here, reaching out the side of the body, or that top arm can come behind the head and you open up towards the ceiling. Lovely, and then back up to center. We'll take the right hand to hold our left knee and our left fingertips can be behind us. Let's inhale tall. Exhale, take a twist over that left shoulder. So letting the gaze follow if it wants to, but never forcing that gaze to come over the shoulder. Take a breath here. Just allow yourself to unwind a little bit. As we really slowly return back to center and we take it the other way. So now our left hand's holding our right knee and our right fingertips are behind us. Inhale tall. Exhale, take a twist over, looking over that right shoulder. Let the gaze follow if it wants to. Taking a breath here. And then returning all the way back to center and then rolling over the knees. So we are going to come into a 4-point kneeling position. My knees will be underneath my hips and my wrists are going to head underneath my shoulders. Spread those fingers nice and wide. And when you're ready, drop that belly, lift the gaze as you inhale in this cow position. Exhale round through the spine, draw that navel in towards your back and tuck the tailbone, tuck the chin in your cat. Let's inhale back into that cow pose. Gaze lifts, belly drops. Exhale back into your cat. As we draw the navel towards the spine, you tuck the tailbone, the chin tucks in. We'll add on to this now as we inhale into our cow. Exhale into your cat. But this time, sitting back into that child's pose, really reaching through the shoulders and the arms. When you're ready to inhale, scoop on through those arms back up into cow. Exhale into cat. Sitting back on your heels into a child's pose. Scooping on through into your cow. Just one more like that as we exhale into cat. Sitting back into child's. And then scooping on through up to your cow. Just finding a little neutral spine now. This is an option. Tuck the toes and sit back on your heels in toe sit. Now, if toe sit is really not where you want to be today, if you come here and you're like, oh no, this is not for me, try first of all raising your hips up. It will lessen it on the backs of the feet. You can always just come into a kneeling position if toe sit is not for you. But otherwise, find yourself in a toe sit. I have to physically untuck my toes and then reach your arms out to the side. We'll take the left arm up And the left arm is going to find just there between your shoulder blades. The right arm is going to gently take hold of the left elbow and draw it up towards the sky. So pausing here, and if this is enough for you, then stay exactly where you are. But if you want a little bit more, maybe that right arm comes back out with the palm face backwards and it swings behind you, and you grab hold of your t-shirt, you might reach back up, and maybe eventually you might take hold of your left hand and you find a bind. So we are holding here. These are our cow face arms. And then reaching back out and taking that to the other side. So now our right arm is going to come up, bend at the elbow, and the hand just finds in between the shoulder blades. The left arm gently takes hold of that right elbow and guides it up towards the ceiling. We can stay exactly here, or that left arm can reach back out, palm face backwards, swinging behind you, and maybe going for the bind or holding a t-shirt. One more breath here. How's the back of those toes doing? Let's release those arms, come back into a 4-point kneeling, just untuck those toes, give them a little tap out. That should take away any tension there. From here in our 4-point kneeling, pad those hands forward, one little hand's distance, tuck your toes, find for me downward facing dog. In your downward dog, feel free to take a pedal, maybe stretching out through the backs of those legs. Before you come and find a stillness, the right leg is going to lift. Now perhaps we're sort of here, maybe we're up a little higher in a 3-leg dog, but then some of you may want to actually open out into a scorpion tail. So we're bending that right knee, my right heel more heads towards my left glute. Bring it back round so you're square to the top of the mat. And we're going to step that right foot through the gates of the arms. You're welcome to drop that left knee and help that right foot up along. However you get there, right foot is forward, left foot is back. We've got our back knee down. And I'm just grabbing my block here. I'm going to push myself up into a high lunge. And I've got the option now of having my hands up or keeping them on the block. And we're going to just sink forwards and back through a range of motion through this low lunge. Opening up here through the left hip. It's probably where you feel it a lot. Maybe down here through the back of the right leg too. Taking one more forward and back here before we bring our hands into prayer and twist towards the right side. You can stay up high or you can hook your left elbow on the outside of the right knee. From here, we're twisting and opening up and trying to get rotation. One way to work into that is to take your top hand as a fist, press it into the bottom hand, and then use that to just get that little bit more rotation here. So holding your twisted lunge position. Before we come back round to the top of the mat, and I'm going to step forward into a deep forward fold. So both feet are coming to the top of the mat, and I'm hanging here in my deep forward fold. I can have a little bend in the knees, that's no problem. I can have them a little straighter, that's fine too. And just as an option today, if you want to bring your hands behind you and interlace those fingers, you could do that and then stretch out the arms, and almost the little fingers are trying to trace a semicircle over the top of your head. So perhaps you're opening up here with the shoulders as well. It's quite intense if you've taken the arm option as well as a deep forward fold with the legs. Take one more breath here. Before you come on back up, just take a bend in the knees, release the hands, and we are going to step back to downward facing dog. So my hands come down, my right leg goes back, my left leg goes back, and I find my downward facing dog. From your downward facing dog, this time the left leg lifts. And if it wants to, maybe you find the scorpion tail on this side as well. So we've got a bent left leg, and my left heel is heading more towards my right glute. Straighten back up, and I'm going to bring that left leg between my hands, or I'm going to drop my right knee and just help that left ankle and left foot up to the top of the mat. However you get there, maybe have your block handy. We're going to come up into a low lunge and take a few of those sinking forwards and then coming back up. So we're keeping it a bit more fluid, working through the motion as opposed to holding it static just at the start of the class here. And then just one more of those perhaps. If you've taken the block, just pop it out of the way. You don't want to trip up over that. Bring your hands into prayer. Let's twist towards the left side this time. You can stay up high, tuck that right elbow on the outside of the left knee. And again, if you want to, the top hand, the left hand can press into the bottom one and create a little bit more rotation there. Taking a breath here. Before we bring ourselves back round to the top of the mat, my hands are just framing my front foot. I'm going to tuck my back toe, lift my back knee, and walk myself round to the right side of the mat. So I've got quite a wide stance, but some people are going to need to actually widen it a little more. So I've just taken a heel toe to widen my stance a little more, and I'm in a wide-legged forward fold. Now my toes like to pigeon in slightly. Yours could be straight on or even pigeoned out. We're all slightly different. Now, if your hands aren't reaching the floor, just grab your block. We can hold ourselves here. Maybe you use the block heights to bring yourself eventually down. If your hands are down on the mat, have your fingertips pointed towards the right side of the mat and your elbows pointed back behind you. And from there, you can start to lower yourself a little bit further down. Maybe in time, using the block to bring your head down onto the block. Some of you may even be bringing that head down onto the mat. Wherever you are in your wide leg forward fold today, you take it for you and your body, never ever forcing, never ever working through pain, just simply finding the edge of where you can be today. From your wide leg forward fold, we are going to come up into goddess. So I suggest we all just heel toe our feet in so they're a little bit narrower, but we've still got a wide stance. And then bring yourself upright and sink down into goddess. Now it's like I'm sinking down against a wall. So what I'm not doing is popping my bottom out. I'm sinking, so my bottom is nice and tucked in. My knees are tracking over my feet, and I've almost got my hands on my thighs and I'm rotating them backwards. So it's all coming that way in the direction. And your hands can be in prayer, hips overhead. It's your choice. We're just going to hold our goddess just for a few breaths. This isn't a strong class, so we're not going to hold it for lots of breaths. One more breath. And then start to sink into the right knee. So we're going to take a bigger bend in the right knee as we come onto our left heel, perhaps taking that block and coming down low into Skandasana. So I've got a big bend in my right back leg. My right heel kicks up. Yours might stay down, in which case, great, leave it down. Mine definitely kicks up. I do have the toes of my left foot pointed upwards though, and I'm here in Skandasana. This might be enough for you. You might want to have the block there for support. Some of you may want to come even a little bit lower and just work into a position where you can find the stretch that you want today. So we're holding our low Skandasana just for another breath or two. Before we walk our hands to the back of the mat. So I'm coming around to the back of the mat, coming onto the ball of my back foot, and I'm in a runner's lunge. So my back knee is lifted to get a little bit more stretch through the left hip here. But if you want to, you can always drop that back knee. Ground into that left hand, let the right hand rotate upwards towards the sky. Easy twist. Before we bring that right hand back down, I'm going to walk myself back round to the right hand side of my mat and then push myself up into goddess. So I'm upright and then I'm sinking back down into my goddess. I'm going to take my block with me. So I've got it on this side too. One more breath in your goddess. Remember, knees tracking over toes. So if they're coming in a little bit too much, just come on up higher again and see if you maybe stay up a little higher, but your knees track over your toes. Bending into that front leg, we're going to bend, 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 bend as we come low, maybe using our block to help us down. And we find Skandasana on this side. So I'm on the heel of my back foot. There's a big bend in my front foot. You can see my heel kicks up. If yours stays down, brilliant. You keep it there. And we're just holding here our Skandasana for one more breath before we walk round to the top of the mat. So now I'm in a runner's lunge on the other side. I'm stretching out through my right hip, holding here. Taking a breath. Lovely, bringing that back knee down. I'm simply going to shuffle myself. So I've got my legs swinging along the mat in front of me and legs are outstretched. So here I am with my legs outstretched in front of me, toes pointed upwards. Hug in that right knee for me. So I'm hugging it in close to my chest. Then I'm going to step that right foot over my left leg. My foot is flat on the mat. It's popping here so you can see me. So my foot is flat on the mat. Sitting up nice and tall. And you can stay here if this is enough and you think, I don't want any more than this. Or we can take it into half Lord of the Fishes. So this time now, my left hand is going to come on the outside of my right knee. My right fingertips are behind me. And again, I can sit up really tall. Now I can stay here with my left hand doing a nice little wave. Or if it feels better for you, you can bring it down your right thigh. Inhale tall. Exhale, see if there's a little twist over that right shoulder. Pausing here. Taking a breath. And then simply bringing yourself really slowly back into center. Now, still working with this right leg, I'm going to come onto the blade side, the pinky toe blade side of my right foot and start to wiggle that foot backwards. So I'm going to come on here so you can see me. So I'm wiggling that foot back more towards my hip. We are looking in ultimately maybe for knees over knees, but it might not be. You might be more like here to start with. If this is enough for you, stay. If you want a little bit more, this is half cow face. If you want full cow face, we're going to rock onto that left hip and bring our straight leg round underneath us. And this is cow face legs. So you might remember we did cow face arms earlier. Now we're doing our cow face legs. So holding onto our feet is certainly where we could be. And you may want to explore coming forward and bending. If you want to try the cow face arms as well, let's take our hands out to the side. I'm going to bring my right arm up and find my shoulder blades. And my left arm is either going to hold my elbow or swing behind me, just like we did at the starter class. And from here again, I can stay upright or I can bend forward. So whichever of these options you want to do, but you do not need to take the cow face arms as well as the cow face legs. And remember, that left leg can be long and we can just work on one side at a time. Taking another breath here. In your cow face. If this isn't suiting you, just rock onto your back and see if it feels a little better in shoelace legs. So we're in a similar position, but we're on our backs. From wherever you are, we've all got slightly different variations, so just untangle those legs, stretch them out long. We'll do it on the other side. So now the left leg comes in, we hug the left leg, we step it over, so we've got a whole foot down, we sit up tall. Right arm can come across and hook on the outside of the knee, and either we wave or we float it down our thigh. The left fingertips can be behind us, and then we take a twist over that left shoulder. You're in your half Lord of the Fishes. And we're pausing here, taking a lovely twist, taking another breath. Before we bring it back round to center, now coming onto the pinky toe blade side of that left foot and seeing if it can come up closer towards our hip. That right leg can remain long with toes pointed upwards, and we can take a fold or we can stay up high. If you want more, rock onto that right hip, you swing that left leg around, and you'll see I have to, this is my funny side, so I've got to give myself a little bit more of a jiggle here to get into position. And you can hold your feet, you can fold, you can stay upright. But if you want to add on the arms out to the side, left arm comes up and finds your shoulder blades, right arm takes the elbow, or it swings behind you. And you find a bind there behind you at your back. Again, you can bend, you can stay upright. And again, if this is not suiting you, try a little supine variation called shoelace legs. I can get myself back into cow face. There we go. Taking another breath. Before you untangle your arms, you untangle your legs from whatever variation you took. Bring your feet so they're flat on the mat. Your hands can be pointed towards your feet, out towards the side, even some sort of variation of that, wherever they naturally land. I think mine sort of landed a 45 degree. And I'm going to press into the feet, lift up my hips. So I'm coming up here, I might be low, I might be able to get higher, I might even have my hips in line with my knees. My gaze can be forward, especially if I'm at all concerned about anything in my neck, or maybe I can have my gaze upwards or even a little further back. This is a variation of east stretch, east being the front of our bodies in yoga. So this is stretching the front of our bodies. If you want a little bit of a stronger variation, come back down, legs outstretched. And we're going to take the exact same position, but just using our heels to ground us rather than our whole feet. So our legs are straight, and we're balancing on our heels and our hands, and we're coming on up. And again, the gaze can be forward, upwards. Some people may like to bring their heads back, and we're stretching through the whole front of our bodies while also strengthening our arms, because I definitely feel this in my arms. So taking a gorgeous little stretch here. In any of these variations, bringing yourself down when you are ready. And then when you have finished your east stretch, I invite you to come all the way down with me on the mat. So here we are lying supine on the mat. Let's hug that right knee in, giving a nice squeeze up towards the right shoulder. When you are ready, guide it over to the left side, roll onto that left hip. If you want the right arm to reach back out, it can do. If you want to gaze over to those right fingertips, you can do. You can take the whole of this last section with your eyes closed. It's totally up to you. Let's roll back onto our backs. Let that left knee come in to meet the right knee. Hugging tight, maybe bringing head towards knee. As we lower back down, we keep the left knee hugged in, we elongate that right leg along the mat. Hug that left knee up towards your left shoulder. And then gently just guide it over to the right side with your right hand. Roll onto that right hip. Reach back out with your left hand. Maybe the gaze goes over to the left side. One more breath here. Before we roll back onto our backs, I'll invite you to take a happy baby pose. So knees are in towards our chest to start. Perhaps our hands come behind our thighs, our shins, our ankles, even the outside of our feet. And then we take our knees wider and we start to draw those knees down the sides of our body. Some of you may want to take a nice little rock side to side, or perhaps you stay still. And from here, you can close down the eyes. So you could stay in happy baby, or you could bring those legs down towards the mat. In any variation that feels good for you, maybe they're long along the mat, or perhaps they're bent with the feet on the edges of the mat and the knees gently folded together. Just find a nice last resting position for you. Close down the eyes if you haven't already. We are going to take just a few focused breaths to finish the class. So when you are ready, and we'll take a short breath practice as we finish now. So just noticing the breath, noticing the inhale, and it's deep and it's full. And as you exhale, maybe you make it long and smooth. Take another few breaths like that where you're inhaling. It's deep, it's full, it fills the lungs. And as you exhale, the exhale is longer and smoother, maybe slower. One more. Inhaling in through the nose. Big and deep and full. And exhale long and smooth and slow. If you have some more time, please feel free to lie here for a little longer. But if you have to get on with your day, come and join me in a seated position now. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Namaste.